And we didn't play horrible at all. I thought we played really, really good volleyball. Our defense was great, and they've got some really good pins, and we did a good job of slowing them down. And they found some matchups that were not at the top of our game plan. That we're working for them, but. I was happy with how we performed for sure. We needed to have a little bit more offense to keep up with them, but. You go on the road and you're playing the number one team in the country, and we looked at it and say, okay, we're 5 points away. So, let's figure out how to get those 5 points.
Moving ahead to this weekend, it seems like Oklahoma's one. Kansas was one of those milestone type things for you. Not that you haven't beaten Oklahoma, but it just seems like they're one of the tougher tests for you guys year in and year out. What is it about that matchup, and is that kind of like a rivalry for you guys?
Well, we got to do better against them to make it a rivalry. But they're having a great year, and they played a good schedule. They're an RPI top 25 right now. Good ball control, great setting. They're a good balanced team, and they do things a lot like I like to do things in terms of how their systems are run. And so I think that makes the matchup pretty interesting. It's just who can do it better. But that's a quality program, well coached, and yeah, it's going to be a fun match.
After facing the number one team and being just those few points away, did the girls come back with I hate to say an air of confidence, but knowing that do one thing here, one little thing here, and we can compete with anybody in the country?
Yeah, I think we felt that way going in, and that was affirmed for sure. I do think we walked away from that match feeling good about how we performed, and also pretty honest with ourselves about where they separated. But we turned the page pretty quick, and we've got all week to get ready for OU, and that's really where our focus is in now. And we're spending a couple days really keying in on ourselves, and we're about halfway through conference play, so we know there's some things we got to get better at. And before we really put all of our attention on Oklahoma, we want to make sure we're playing the best we can play and doing it our way. So we got 2 things on our list this week.
You mentioned that you're about halfway through. Anything this team has done that, I don't want to say surprise because you expect them to succeed, but maybe was a pleasant surprise that they exceeded some expectations for you?
Well, I think the biggest thing is just how much they've had to overcome with just, whether it's injuries or changes in the lineup and players being in, then out, then back in again. And there's just so much they've had to adapt to, and it seems like every week there's some kind of a surprise in some way where somebody pops up on the injury report, or we're not quite sure if they're going to be ready to go, and so there's just constant every day walking into the gym and just trying to look at what we got and who's available and making the most of it. So I give them a lot of credit. This sport is built on repetition and consistency, and when you can't have those reps with that group that you're going to play with on Saturday or think you might be playing with on Saturday, and you got to go a whole week with something else, it does affect you. And so I give them a lot of credit. They've been able to hang tough and still have a good year.
I feel like we could ask this question every week, but it seems like every single week Emily has one of those matches that carries your team, and she's been so special for you. How much fun is it coaching her so far this year?
Well, it's been that way for 3 years. This is a player who her skill set and how she approaches training and just her personality have been so much in alignment with just how I think about the game and how I like to be in the gym. And it's just so rare when you find a player that is so in tune with the way you like to do things, and it makes for an easy fit within the system. But just to be able to, I think we've been together long enough where I think we can kind of read each other's minds a lot of times about volleyball and what we're thinking about, what the reaction is going to be or what the coaching point is going to be. And I know she's heard me say the same things for 3 years, so she knows where I'm coming from. And I've learned her game well enough to know what her body language is like and what she's trying to accomplish, and if she makes it or doesn't make it. And I don't know, we just seem to be on the same page all the time. But I don't know, it's been a great 3 years with her, and I've just been feel so fortunate to be able to see her accomplish so many things and be such a big part of our turnaround.
Coach, Coach, you talked about how y'all were able to slow down the Baylor offense and how good the defense performed. Talk about how, being able to slow down Presley and other really good hitters for Baylor will really benefit the team heading into OU this weekend.
Yeah, when you have a player like she is, and she's a candidate for National Player of the Year, no doubt. And, we did a really nice job with her. And I think it just gives you confidence to know that when you put a game plan together and you know who their big dog is and you feel like you can at least contain it and not just let her go off, I think that's a big step. And, everybody plays, to some degree as well as their best players play, and so when you can at least keep them in check a little bit, that gives you every opportunity. So that's really what we're all about.
And over the weekend, Emily hit 2 really big career milestones. Just how big is it to hit, let alone 1 in one game, but 2 in one match?
Yeah, well, that's just timing more than anything, but 1,500 kills at this level is a huge number. And then to back it up with 1,000 digs, and we've been talking for 3 years about what kind of all-around player she is, and to be able to play 6 rotations and handle the amount of responsibility that we give her on both sides of the ball, and she, and she's serious about all of it. So, she's not just a hitter who plays a little back row, right? She's a 6 rotation player, and so I don't know. That's a big deal, and I think it just speaks for how much she's put into this, and what her talent really is.
2 huge career milestones, and you're always going to be known as a hitter, but is the digs a little one that's a little more special to you because it's not something that a normal hitter would expect?
Well, to be honest, from when I started as a freshman, my goal was to eventually get both 1,000 kills and 1,000 digs, because I've always wanted to be a 6-row. That was my goal. And so I knew I was going to get the 1,000 kills earlier, so the digs, yeah, it's really special. Reach that goal that I set 4 years ago. So,
Coach mentioned that he can almost tell what you're thinking, and he thinks that you can tell what he's thinking. Do you get that same feeling too as well, and it's not just the repetition, but that where he's thinking this team can be going, what they need to be doing at X, Y, and Z?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I think we're on the same wavelength 99% of the time. Yeah, there are some times in practice where I know exactly what he's going to say. He knows exactly what I'm thinking. He knows what I'm thinking out on the court, what I'm about to do. He said it the other day. You can tell, from the first step or from the first movement, how the play or the swing is going to be. But for me, on his end, I know what he's expecting his leaders to say, and what the tone of practice and the path that he wants us to take, for sure.
Rewind the clock a little bit for me, going back 3 years, and it's your sophomore year here, building the program up that you're coming into. What has changed the most dramatically since then to now?
I think just the level of all-around talent that we have. That team 3 years ago wasn't bad. We were very good. But this year, last year and this year, just all around, there's competition at every position, which makes all of us better. So,
you had a hard-fought battle with Baylor. What do you guys take away from that, knowing that they were the number 1 team, you were playing in their house, and I don't want to say 1 or 2 little things, but a couple of different things that happen a different way, and you're knocking down the number 1 team in the country.
Right. I think just that knowing that our defense is good enough to to slow down and stop some of those top outside hitters, and even the middles, and just everyone else. That, and then we just have to know that we just need 4 or 5 more points each set, and that comes from little things that we do that are easy to fix. So.
Looking ahead to this weekend, Oklahoma's been a team that's been frustrating for you guys. What causes those problems, and what do you guys need to do heading into the match this weekend?
Gosh, I don't know what causes a problem. In the past, it's been their outside hitter that's gotten us. She's not here anymore. They're still a good team. But I think this year we have the tools to be able to finally beat them.
As you guys wrap up the first half of the conference season, how do you think that first half has gone for you guys?
I think better than ever. We only had one game where it was like, yeah, we should have won that one, whereas in the past it's been 3 or 4. that we've let slip away. So compared to in the past, it's fantastic, I think.
And this little break here where you only have one match to worry about this week, I mean, does that come at the perfect time knowing you guys are heading into the second half and need to take care of business?
Yes, perfect time. Gives us a little time to relax for a few days, but then really gear back up and get focused again for the rest of the season, for sure.
Against Baylor, having someone on the other side of the net like Presley, how much does that make you want to elevate your game?
Oh, a lot. I've said it before, like I want to be able to compete with the best outsides in the country, and she's probably the best outside in the country. So, just going kill for kill with her is exciting.
What can you take away from that match against them that you guys did well and you can build on?
Yeah, I think our defense was really good. We were doing a good job of defending them. I think we could have been a little better on our first touch, and that would have helped, like our serve and our pass. That would have helped us earn those 4 or 5 more points we were behind on in each set. So,
is it something that you can come away with happy about the way you were playing? I mean,
yes.
Knowing that you were close?
Yes, for sure. I think we played them really well, and it was a big accomplishment that we were able to frustrate their outsides. That was our game plan, and then I think the second time around we'll be more prepared for their right sides. They kind of stepped up in that game, and that's what we ended up struggling with. So second time around, I think we will be more prepared for that.
And same thing that I asked Emily, thoughts on the first half and how you guys have played. Clearly it's been great, but what do you think you guys have done well in the first half of conference play?
I think we've done super well. Definitely compared to last year, we did let a few games slip away. I think our mindset has been different this year. I know that we match up well with each one of these teams, and on any night it's anyone's game, and so it's just the fact that we're able to step up and play our game and come back from behind and take sets from people. I think that's a big difference maker.
Having people like Caitlin and Carrington, Allison, all just being able to block, how much does that help you getting the pass?
Oh, it helps me tremendously. Sometimes I'm back there and I'm like, oh, this girl's about to blow me up. And then they just stick a hand out and just stuff them. And I'm like, yes, thank you. So it helps me a lot because I'm able to read around their block, and they take away a big chunk of the court. So, yeah.
What do you know about OU going into the weekend? And have you guys really talked about a game plan going into that match?
We have not talked about a game plan yet. That'll be more towards the end of the week. I know that OU has a really good setter. They're pretty well-rounded, and I feel like they're a really good ball control team. So they're going to be a lot to handle, but I know that we can handle them. And like Emily said, their go-to outside isn't there anymore, so that should be one less thing for us to worry about.